Hands down, one of the things that I absolutely miss most about doing YouTube full time is vlogging. And while it never made me very much money and never got exorbitant amount of views, it was just something I very much enjoyed. And it's definitely something I very much miss. So, that being said, when I think about it or have the opportunity to, I find it enjoyable still to vlog. So today, I see my dog sneaking over to my, on my list for today is bone broth, and I see him sneaking over to the bone broth area. But I have a Sunday list I'll call it. So I'm sure, as you can assume, today is Sunday. With a Sunday list, I have a little bit of time, maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of time that I can get stuff done. And I want to cross some things off. We have we have a random spell of cold weather coming in before our regular or our annual frost date. It hasn't been getting that cold this late in the season lately, but at this point it is. So I put tomatoes out early, and I think I want to move them back into the greenhouse. I have some strawberries planted from last year that I want to move. I want to plant some onions. In addition to the onions I've already planted, do some fetch with my dog to get some exercise in for him. Gotta water some of the plants. Continue with my beef broth that I'm doing. And then other work that I have is I want to post 2 clips from my podcast, the New York's Business Podcast, and I have a video that I have to film for this YouTube channel. So these are things I don't know if and I want to practice my bow and arrow. Now, not all of these are necessities. Of course, practicing bow and arrow is definitely not a necessity. Even some of the garden stuff is not a necessity. Just stuff that I would like to get off my Sunday list. Now, one thing before we get started, I want to talk about how I advocate for lists. Big believer in lists, mainly because I think it's super easy to get overwhelmed in your head with all the things you have to get done. And when you put it on a list, it's just like, oh wait, I don't know why I was so overwhelmed before. It's actually not that much stuff, and I think we could do a lot of it. So one of the things that I got going on is a big pot of broth that I'm making, bone broth. My next cow is coming in a couple of weeks, so I'm emptying out the freezer, and one of the things I got in there is bones from the last cow to make bone broth with. So that's what we're doing today. We got some carrots and celery from the garden in there, and some parsley. Ground the bones first, and then now we're hopefully making a big pot. I do keep noticing that the flame keeps going out, which is frustrating. I don't know why. So it appears that we have dropped some. You can see that my dog has been looking it up, but he got some soot on him. Ay, ay, ay. These, as you can see, is the greenhouse. Moved some strawberries, which is nice. We had to dig out the entire greenhouse, the entire thing. It was so much work. It was insane. When I say we, I mean I, because animals were getting in here, and I dug out the entire floor and put that chicken wire hardware cloth down. It's called hardware fabric, but it's really like a chicken wire under the whole floor, somewhere between 8 to 18 inches depending on the spot. There's a lot of work, so that's why it's a mess in here. Got to clean it up. But under here we got tomatoes and stuff. I'll show you. So I put these out maybe last week, but in all reality, it's probably a little too chilly for them in the upcoming days. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to bring them undig them essentially. Got a lot of things going on here. Dig them up and put them back in the greenhouse. All right, I took them out. As you can see, I think that guy right there is a goner. But everything else looks pretty good. We're going to give this a water in here. And then, as you can see over here, these guys already don't look too happy. I don't think they'd be happy if I left them in here any longer. Maybe we can salvage them. If we can't, hey, we tried. It is what it is. It comes to the territory. I might honestly plant some new seeds just in case as a backup. We'll see what happens. But they'll definitely do better in the other greenhouse than they will in here. It'll definitely be warmer. I should honestly fertilize these. I think they could definitely use some nitrogen, help them with their growth, but at this point, that's a task for another day. These greens right here, they won't be bothered by the cold. Especially in this greenhouse, they'll be totally fine. So I guess that I'm adding Bathed Bullet to the list. So this is what the greenhouse looks like now. You can see that there's onions planted there, and then across all the way down there we got onions. So these are actually last year's onions, believe it or not, that didn't size up well enough. So what I did is I said, okay, I'm going to save these, and I'm essentially using them as onion starts, or sets they're really called. And we'll see how they turn out. Oh, Bullet, you need a bath, buddy. You need a bath. Cranking through this list. We're cranking. Just finished with my bow. Now, hunting season doesn't start until really like, I mean, main season starts October 1st, but like maybe there's a week before October you can go for what's called antlerless deers, which could be a female or like a one that doesn't have antlers yet. But that, I mean, here we are in April. I want to be as good as I can be, so I'm trying to shoot 25 hours a day and just really, really, really hone in on my skills. And my real goal this year is I would really like to get a black bear. We don't really have any black bear on Long Island, but upstate you do. And I don't know if I'd go with a bow and arrow, but I would, maybe a rifle, but I would really, really like to get a black bear this year to eat, but also to make a gorgeous hide. Like I would flesh the hide. I would tan the hide and make, like, how cool would that be, the black bear? Oh man. So I'm happy. We've really been cranking through this list. We got a couple more things to do, and obviously thanks to Bullet we got a couple new things to do, but there's no reason to get overwhelmed in life. It's so easy to get overwhelmed and all the things you have to do, but in all reality, first of all, which ones are even really that important? Second of all, like, what's the point of getting overwhelmed? You ready for your bath? Dude, look at your ears. Your ears are not normally black. Oh my gosh.